Hello everyone and welcome to the 2017 Next Generation Tour National Championships. I'm joined by Dave Felberg. And Dave, we just wrapped up with a playoff. Came all the way down, second hole of the playoff, a little bit of a heartbreaker, at least for one individual, but Benjamin Cole moving on to the finals. 5 guys, 1 car. What's in store?
Well, very exciting. Benjamin Cole, went to the playoff for the regional and caught a really bad break as his competitor skipped off a pipe in the fairway. And, he was really nervous about something like that happening. So with the new aggregate, he proved that he was the better player today.
All right, well, he got it done. Our one international player from Canada, Stu, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for coming out. Quite a performance you put up for the weekend.
We love you, Stu.
And now we're going to move on to the final 5. I'm going to step aside. We're going to play the same 9 holes that you just saw a few moments ago for the Kia Soul and all the other great prizes. And we've got just 5 left. Dave, with the call. Hills.
Can I get everybody's attention, please? Welcome to the Next Generation National Championship Final 9. We will be playing holes 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 11, 14, 17, and 18. We like the crowd to stay back and give the players space. We will have crowd control. Just follow their instructions. This is a history payout $1,000. And amenities, and these gentlemen, just these 5, are competing for a car and 30. So this is very important. Please silence your cell phones, and if you have to take a call, please step away from the crowd. With no further ado, I would welcome my stayers. Thank you.
All the players up here? Absolutely.
And as the 5 competitors are getting together.
You guys excited? Yeah, man. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. High five right now. Boom.
And the gallery's into it. Sean is on the call with our leader.
All right.
At 19 under par.
All right. Isn't he tired? All right, guys. First to the tee from Logan, Utah, shooting a 16 down. Everyone welcome Ben Cole!
Oh, and they're going in reverse order here. Ben Cole sitting in 5th place, first on the tee. And that may not have enough. We're seeing as Ben clears. Oh, and it does. And a big grin by Ben. Perfect shot here on hole number 1.
Next to the tee from Sussex, Wisconsin, shooting a 17 down overall, Joe Rawling!
And one of 2 players from my home state of Wisconsin. This is Joe Rawling. It has a little bit of height to it. It's tracking toward the pin, but I believe it's going to be short. He gets the OB flag from the spotter. And he does not get a spot at the wall, so that means that Joe will be throwing again from the tee. Joe goes a little less stability here. That seems to be coming out of it. He's going to be deep of the pin. Safe, but looking downhill.
Next to the tee from Onalaska, Wisconsin, and our Region 5 champion. Everyone welcome, Clinton Rihn!
And Clinton Rihn from Onalaska, Wisconsin, fought himself into the finals during the previous 9 holes. And Clinton knows that it is safe. He doesn't even have to look. I believe that's called the Michael Johansson walk-off, when you know that you've thrown a good shot.
Next to the tee, in second place, shooting an 18 down. Oh, yeah. Our favorite guy from Cerritos, California, Chris Keseloff!
And Chris Keseloff, who started the tournament 12 over par after the first 3 holes, is here in the finals, second place.
Let's go, T-Veldo.
And Chris playing the wide forehand. He gives himself the clap as he turns around, and he knows that it is coming up short. The crowd with a collective groan after it hits the wall. Yeah, there was clarification as to whether or not... Oh, and now he's going to go get the flag out. Okay, clarification. He did hit the wall, which is considered inbounds. He'll have a very short putt from there for 3. And now, your 14-year-old leader.
Our young gun from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Silas Schultz!
Again, your leader at just 14 years old. He's not even eligible to drive a car home. He's playing for the win. He hits near the basket and it just skips in. We're going to move forward to see on the green of hole 1. We'll be back in a moment after a word from our sponsors.
KJ Naibu, who's the next champion?
Hello everyone and welcome to the famous Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course. We're here on hole number 1, 390 feet. There's plenty of room out to that right-hand side, or you could go for it, as we saw Nate Doss land himself on Sports Center karting the ace. This hole is diabolical. He also karted an 8 the previous time he played it. We'll see how the amateurs play it here at the Next Gen Tour. Ethan Shantz karted the lefty hole-in-one during Friday's opening day. Let's see how we can do it. Play to the right or go straight at it. And what a turn there, as Clinton's disc almost went into the bottom of the basket for the birdie 2. It gets up, pops out, and then rolls towards the OB. However, it does come up short and it stays inbounds. Joe Rawling will be throwing from just outside the circle. He's about 1.5 meters outside the 10-meter circle.
Yeah.
And Rawling's attempt is low, hitting the pole. Does stay inbounds as he's looking at the water directly behind him. And possibly some nerves, as that was a very, very uncharacteristic miss there by Silas. And fresh off the playoff is Benjamin Cole. He's going to carve the lone birdie here. And unbelievable that we just saw that putt come back out at Chris after hitting the pole, coming out of the basket, then rolling OP. I do not believe what I just saw. Chris did not even realize that that putt had come out. He had thought he threw it in. It looked to be on point. As he was reaching down to pick up his mini, he heard the disc fall to the ground, and then to watch it roll out of bounds. We will have to see how he can recover from that. That was absolutely unbelievable here on our first hole of the finals. And Joe was trying to get his placing. I'll go ahead and say I think he shorted himself a full step there. You can take a 1 full meter in. Not sure he took that full meter. Of course, you can take less if you'd like. But as he was messing with his footing, it seemed as if he could have used that extra foot. Wow, what a turn of events here on our first hole. That's hole number 1. We've got a short walk. Stay tuned, stay with us. We're going to just quickly walk right over to the tee on 2, as it's no more than 50 feet from the pin. And we'll stay with you guys as we move on to our first of 2 par 4s found out here on this course during the finals.
Silas. Chris. 5. Quentin. 3. Joe. 5. Ben. 2.
And Ben, who again just got into the finals after the dramatic playoff, he is now picking up plenty of ground here, carting the lone 2 on hole number 1. That's going to push him to 17 under par. And splitting the difference between the coots and the low-hanging branches. Solid shot up on the right side. There is no wind out here at the moment here. Clinton with a forehand out to the left-hand side, comes in nicely, sits on the hillside and gets a great applause from the gallery. Not the play we've seen out here most often, as most players have gone up and to the right playing the low hyzer line. And Silas is going out to the left side, and that's carrying back toward the center of the fairway. A very aggressive and well-executed shot by Silas. I think we're going to see more of that here in the finals. And Chris throwing it very low into the ground, barely keeping it low enough to not go OB. Joe Rawling last to tee. And Joe keeping it also very low, skipping around, finding center of the fairway. We'll be back with you after a word from our sponsors on hole 2.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Hi, this is Dave Felberg, and you're here at the Next Generation National Championships at Fountain Hills, Arizona. And I want to talk to you a little bit.
And going with a huge flexing turnover forehand shot is Chris Keseloff. That is definitely tracking right next to the pin. He's in position to still birdie this hole as he gets a high five from Silas Schultz. We're going to move down the fairway ever so gently here. And joining me now again from the PDGA, Michael Downs. And Michael, what a turn of events on hole number 1. It provides all the drama we've come to love and see throughout our national tour events or pro tour events, but here at the Next Gen Tour, hole 1, it's got some people's number.
It does it again, and this time, you know, although the lake was a bit of a culprit, Mr. Keseloff is probably pretty upset with the basket right now. That was a very unfortunate bounce out for him, so it was great to see him bounce back with an outstanding second shot there. Here's a nice one from Ben, too.
And Ben, who has most recently played holes 1 and 2 during the playoff a few moments ago, he's back out here ready to go. Joe Rawling will be throwing his second shot. Sounds like we have a few hecklers from the water's edge over there, Michael.
Yeah, the wildlife here is making its presence known right now. There's a nice shot from Mr. Rawling, coming into the green clean with a nice little 40-footer or so for birdie.
And Silas Schultz, after now seeing him go out and around here on hole 2, I think that's definitely the better play for him off the tee. Put himself in a great position here to attack this pin for the birdie.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a smart play, too. Not 100% on this one, but it really looked like it was a mid-range disc. So he chose position over distance, and it's a smart choice here.
He has another mid-range in his hands. There's a number of professionals that could not reach the green here with a driver. or with a mid-range, should I say. And as that comes up just short, looks like he had the right speed and the right angle on that. Mid-range here on hole 2. You don't even see that at the pro levels.
It's 703 feet. Not my first thought is mid-range, but you know, he's 14 and he's got no fear. So it's pretty impressive to see him, you know, cleanly make his way up the fairway. He got robbed there. He was having a nice putt for birdie. He still has a look at it.
And Clinton with a very smooth release, playing that wide hyzer out to the right side. He wants to stay. I think it's going to. Oh, and it stops just before the water's edge. We're going to be back with you in a moment as we move to the green here on hole 2.
Hi, this is Dave Felberg, and you're here at the Next Generation National Championships at Fountain Hills, Arizona. And I want to talk to you a little bit about one of our new sponsors this year. It's Shady Ray Sunglasses. We brought them into the disc golf community, and we wanted to make them a big partner of our tour. And if you've seen these, then you played in the regional championship and you made the cut. We want to thank Shady Rays for being a part of our tour and show you what they're giving us. So, let's get it open. Right here was what I have is what they call the X series. They have many models on their website. Really nice, can see really well. I want to say that these are the type of things that we have to do to promote disc golf. We bring in companies from outside the sport. We want to thank Shady Rays for being a part of disc golf and taking a chance on our sport. Go to shadyrays.com to get your sunglasses. Type in promo code NG Disc Golf and you'll get a discount. Until next time, we'll see you at the Next Generation.
Looks as if Joe Rawling will be first to putt here on our second hole of the finals, hole number 2, one of the 2 par 4s that they'll be playing. Joe's looking at about 55, maybe 60 feet, and Joe is famous, in fact, for jump putts. We'll see if he can cash this one in. And hitting off the base of the pole. He's on line, but just a bit short. Guess that's not too bad of a position if you're going to miss anywhere on this putt with that downhill slope. Short is all right.
Yeah, it's tough to be aggressive there, and I think Silas will take a pretty modest run at it here to do the same thing.
What a putt from outside the circle. Silas Schultz taking the birdie 3. He's got a big grin on his face. Gets the fist bump by Chris. And Ben's attempt from outside the circle comes up just short. It does sit down right away. Did you ever think, in all the years you and I have been playing and watching disc golf, that we're looking at possibly a 14-year-old winning a nearly $20,000 car?
It's amazing. You know, the contributions from all the sponsors and the supporters of this Next Generation Tour can't be thanked enough. And David Felberg, Cynthia Whitaker's efforts to put forth a prize like that for a tournament like this is second to none. So, yeah, it's amazing. And we're watching history in the making here.
And Clinton with a birdie 3 here on hole number 2. And Chris, after mashing his forehand approach shot, is left with less than 12 feet to the pin. Heart of the chains, he'll walk away with the birdie. So seeing some very well executed birdies out here on this hole number 2. Few tap-ins by Ben and Joe. We've got a medium-sized walk. We're moving over to the 3rd hole, which is hole 7. We'll be back in a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
FlashFlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the FlashFlight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Our third hole is hole number 7, coming in at just 210 feet. It may be the shortest hole out here, but you need the right speed to come into that peninsula green. You want the birdie here before you move on to the next par 4. And keeping it low and flat with a little bit of hyzer angle to it. It's Clinton. That's going to be a good looking shot. He'll have a look at birdie from there.
Silas taking a softer approach, hoping it sits gently. It slid off the backside of the green. This is a very narrow green. You've got to come at it with the right speed and the right angle or you're going to find yourself some water.
And Chris, who uses the hat as an accessory more than any other competitor, just dips up and over the edge on that left side, finding the OB water. He'll have a short putt for par save there. A few struggles here in the first few throwers.
Ben thinks his is a little hot too, and it runs off the back of the green just like Silas's did before. Again, it's a tough shot and it's all about the speed.
And Joe making sure the spotters are ready to go. In nearly calm conditions, Joe's is tracking right toward the pin. Looks to be checking up just short. We'll see who can make their saves from the green. And rejoining me from earlier in the day, Colt Brack taking in all the action. Looks like we've seen a few OB strokes taking place here on hole 7. This is Ben to save what would be a par 3.
Yeah, does a very nice save, and looks like Clinton's going to have his first opportunity at his share of the lead here. Let's see if he can convert.
And what a putt, looking at water directly behind the basket and no fear whatsoever.
Yeah, now Silas has to make this for his 3, just to hold on to share the lead with Clinton now.
That's got to sit down. That's going to roll back toward the water's edge. We'll see if it sits, and it ultimately does. Everyone on pins and needles as we were watching that disc roll away from the basket. How it stayed up and didn't fall all the way down to the water is, I guess, with all of the drama and everything else that's unfolding here, that would not have surprised me at all. And you just said a moment ago, Clinton's got a share of the lead, and now he'll have the outright lead after our 3rd hole here in the finals.
Absolutely.
And Joe converts on the birdie. Kind of weird to say he's going to take the birdie, but he didn't have the CTP. Technically, Chris has the closest to the pin, but takes the penalty, something I haven't really thought of in the past. And Chris is going to bring himself in the 1 meter from the water. Chris, a very, we'll say, both excited and excitable player. We see him with a lot of energy running around. In fact, he kind of tires me out just watching him pace back and forth. He's very anxious to be out here playing golf, and when you play at that level, I can see why you just want to get up and throw.
Yes, I got a chance to play with him at Am Worlds too, which he also made the final card, and he's very animated and very passionate, very exciting to watch.
This is for his par save here on hole 7, the 3rd hole of the finals. And no problems, a solid putt. Silas is going to walk away with the bogey 4 here on hole 7. So albeit short and relatively easy, this hole not very generous to our players. We're going to move over to hole 8 in just a moment, right here for the Next Generation National Championships.
DiscGolfCenter.com is your premier online disc golf retailer. We offer free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12, a live inventory of over 20,000 golf discs in stock, and the most competitive prices online, period. You're guaranteed to find the disc you're looking for, down to the exact weight and color. Visit DiscGolfCenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
No, excuse me. Clinton, Joe, Chris, Ben, Silas.
Again, Clinton, your outright leader, going with a forehand flex shot, playing it up to the left side, trying to clear all of the trees, put himself in position for this 2nd and final par 4 of the final 9. little guy rolling up on us in a scooter of sorts.
And it looks like he's flexing it, taking the traditional route. Oh, he's up by hole 9's tee pad. Not a bad spot to be. He's still going to have a good look for his birdie.
Joe not overly enthusiastic about his effort there. Waiting for our third competitor. I'm not sure if there seems to be a little confusion. It looks like it's going to be Chris, I believe, and he emerges from the back of the crowd. And Chris going with a similar shot we saw from Clinton, at least the attempt. We'll see if the result is as good.
He's going to be up there by the bench, which is where our pros normally like to throw it, so he should have a good look.
And Ben will tee just before Silas. And Ben, who traditionally throws very low, it's almost a little different seeing him throw a high skyzer type shot, hyzer shot, or a skyzer. I think that's a new term. This is Silas. And with just pure raw power going right up the alleyway on the right side, that's going to put him in great position. We've got a lengthy walk. We'll see you from the fairway of 8 in just a few moments.
Disc Golf Center is your #1 choice for discs, accessories, and low prices. With free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12, discounts from our customer rewards program, and the ability to pick out the exact weight and color disc you want from our live inventory of over 20,000 options. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store. And Clinton going with a forehand, I believe either putter or mid. I believe that's a putter as he's attacking the peninsula green. And he gets the green inbounds flag. And players and gallery seem to scatter a little bit as we move over on hole number 8, which intersects with the tee of 9. And Joe finds himself almost on 9's tee pad, in fact just a few feet from it. And Joe catches the tree directly in front of him. He gets great forward progress. He should be able to get up and down, hopefully still save the par 4. However, pinched up against that tree, he ends up catching it
as we are catching the sunshine out here and a lack of wind. Today started off so windy, in fact the windiest of the 3 days, and now it is almost dead calm out here in Fountain Hills. Chris going with a forehand that looks to have good speed, good angle, catches an edge, but then ends up sitting down, and he takes the green flag. That was a well-executed approach.
Looks like he's going to make it over. Ben's been within 10 feet of this tree all weekend long, so he's been playing pretty consistently on this hole. Expecting a good 3. And Silas lays up to within 5 feet. Expect him to make birdie.
Joe Rawling's going to be throwing his 3rd shot here in just a moment. Looking into the sunset that is coming upon us here in Fountain Hills. That catches an edge, but then ends up stopping, and he is safe. Gets himself a green flag from there. Everyone is moving down to the peninsula green here, found on 8. Looks like Ben will be next with the honors of putting. Solid putt right in the middle of the chains, just a bit low, however, over and in. Colt, you've been on the crew, on the staff, putting up putting in all sorts of hours, along with doing a ton of work throughout this entire year, and now we're just a few holes away from crowning our champion. What do you make of it all?
Well, I mean, it's been a long road to get to this point. It's exciting to see amateur golf make it to this point. We got tons of spectators, perfect weather, perfect course, lots of drama. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I'm already thinking about next year.
And next year will, of course, be the 3rd year of the Next Gen Tour. Last year they started things off. I remember being at the finale in Colorado. Here we are in Arizona this year. Dave indicated it may or may not move to a new location for the finale next year, but they're looking for bigger and better things. It's going to be hard to top the efforts that were put in here in 2017. We see Chris put in for his birdie 3. Joe Rawling is looking at his 4th shot right now. Joe sits in the back of the card, so to speak. He's at 16 under par going into this hole. He's going to remain at 16 if he can convert on the par. Keseloff and Cole both carding the birdies. They're going to move to 18 under par as Joe puts in for the birdie, or a correction, the par. Clinton started this hole at 19 under par. Both him and Silas tapping in on the peninsula. Lots of great action. We're going to move up backward to hole number 9. Looking forward to it right here on the Next Generation National Championships. We'll see you in a moment. We've moved over to, well, what some would call a tweener hole. Hole number 9, coming in at 406 feet. This hole was the only one Paul Macbeth missed a few years ago en route to shooting a 17 under. So if that tells you how tough this hole is, you'll see another peninsula green. You can play safe. You can go wide through the trees, not as common, or you can go right up the middle. You got to keep it dry. 406 feet, hole number 9.
Wow, so Chris pumps one out there. Looks like he's going to make the peninsula. And he gets the green flags. He's going to have an easy up and down tonight.
Second to throw, Benjamin. And again, Benjamin wastes no time getting up and throwing. A style I can certainly appreciate that's tracking toward the peninsula. And the gallery at the tee likes it. The crush by Silas. We'll have to see exactly if it's going to sit down in position for him.
Oh, yeah.
And again, everyone on the tee applauds.
Clinton Rihn with the textbook throw. He should make it over and clear. And he's wet. Puts it up there. It's tracking good. It looks like it might be a little short. He's going to make the peninsula, and he's good.
All right, we're moving down to the peninsula green on hole number 9.
Colacastro representing Fly Life Disc Golf. Who's the next one to win this ride?
Hey there, everybody. I'm Steve Dodge. This is the Next Generation Tour. This is a Kia Soul. Who's next? Yeah, baby.
And after going OB, Clinton approaches to the basket. It bounces up, hits the base of the pole, and then sits back down. Looks like he'll be walking away with a bogey 4.
Yep.
And I think as these players get ready, we're going to invite a very, very special guest, Dave Berglund, CEO and mastermind behind all of Latitude. You're the man, I hear. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the support.
Thank you for having me here. No, I'm not the man of this. I'm just the guy behind the scenes. So,
well, you're here. You're taking in the action. This is the national championships. We've got a great battle unfolding. It's been not only a great year, but of course then a great weekend. What do you think about everything as it unfolds with just a couple holes to play?
Oh man, this is so super exciting. It's amazing. I gotta tell you, these guys. When I watched them early this morning, I think they're turning more and more pro for like each hole they play. So now it's I mean, you can just feel the excitement in the air right now. It's getting really tense. So
it is. They're playing for the largest prize in disc golf history here. Someone's going to be driving away with a Kia Soul, and it's been a long year to get here, but it's hopefully all going to pay off here. We've got Joe Rawling lining up a long jump putt. And every approach so critical here, and that circles around and stays inbounds for Joe. And then Silas with a great drive. This kid's 14 years old and throws possibly further than anyone else out here. Pretty amazing talent.
I mean, that a guy that young and had that confidence and that arm, it's just amazing. 14 years old. I mean, that's, for me, he looked like he's like 18, 19 years old. And so he's got a few years ahead of him that, you know, he can really elevate to something. There's no question about it.
And then there's the story of Chris Keseloff, who opens the tournament 12 strokes over par, and he is still in it for the potential win. Talk about that battle. How does somebody come back from 12 over par in the first 3 holes?
When you just you know, coming in here to this tournament, and I'm just so impressed that he's just, you know, even started to playing the tournament this weekend. It's just super amazing. I mean, that guy, like the mental state of his mind throughout the weekend, just battling his way up all the time. It's just been amazing.
He has put on quite a show, improving with each round as he's gone on, then comes out, has the hottest round of the semi this morning, then follows it up with the show that he's put on here today, finding himself in second place moving into the finals. A bad break on the first hole, but he's still right here in the thick of things with just a few holes left to play. This is Joe Rawling. And what concentration there by Joe. I think, as you said, these players feel like they're getting more and more professional with every hole they finish. It's been a weekend.
No question about it. Yeah, just a privilege to be here and watch these guys. It's just amazing. And you have to remember that these guys started out on their local tournaments, some at some state, and just all the way here, and just being in the final right now is just going to be really exciting for these guys.
Silas, after his great approach shot, he's going to tap in. We're going to see Ben and Clinton tap in. We're going to have a lengthy walk over to hole number 11. Just a few holes left to play for the national championships on the 2017 Next Generation Tour, presented by Latitude 64.
At Disc Golf Center, we strive to provide the best customer service and value. With our live inventory of over 20,000 discs, we have the widest selection and the best prices. Check out discgolfcenter.com to see what we have to offer, including free shipping within the United States on all orders over $12 and a customer rewards program that gets better over time. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
I'm Ricky Wysocki, and I'm wondering who's going to be the next generation.
Hole number 11, it's got a slope, it's got 2 trees, and you've got a hillside with some wind all coming at you. You can go straight up the middle, or maybe even go deep of the basket, play back at it, split the tree, split the upright, take the birdie. That's hole 11, 390 feet. And 390 foot, hole number 11. Chris is playing it out to the right with or left with a forehand, fighting to the right. And that is the best possible position as you're trying to putt at these guarded baskets. And Ben hangs his out to the right. It's going to filter down and left, but be short. He may have a good angle from there. Again, those 2 trees that are on each side of the basket very much protect the angle in which you can come in with your putter. And Silas keeping it low, going directly at the pin. I think that's going to get up there and have a look at it. And he is inside the circle. And Joe making some adjustments from what he did first round this morning. It looked like he had caught up on the tree, and that's heading toward the OB on the left side, and he gets the safe sign. He is in bounds, however, not looking at a birdie from down there. Clinton's low forehand, pushing to the right, trying to fight up the hillside. He gets a roll. We'll see if it rolls toward the pin. It's got to sit down. Is it going to sit near the basket? It does. What a shot by Clinton. We'll see in a few moments from Joe Rawling's lie on the left side of the fairway. As I mentioned, we're off to the left side of the fairway will be Joe Rawling. He comes up just a few feet short of the OB. We're going to get a clarification that this little paved area looks to be inbounds, just the sidewalk and beyond as out of bounds. And joining me now is another Arizona fixture in the disc golf community, Keith Murray from Spinners on the Green. You guys were very active in helping out as some qualifying events were taking place. We were just here a few weeks ago for the PLO, and we're out here at Fountain Hills where we're going to be in just a few months for the Memorial. Quite the battle taking place here, Keith.
Yeah, this is really exciting, man. These guys are really putting on a good show. Watching some good golf. Nice putt. Great shot right there.
And Ben says, ain't nobody got time for this. I'm just going to throw it in. Yeah. He plays very quickly, and Silas wants a little bit of that action. A 14-year-old Silas putting on a show here this weekend. He's been battling with these guys. Had the outright lead a number of times. He's looking to get a piece of it right now.
Yeah, he's swung with a shop a few times, and a super nice kid. Actually, a number of these folks have swung by. It's great.
Oh, and just a bit high. Thought he had the right angle on it. Hits off the top of the basket, grabs the bottom basket, but then slips out.
That's a tough miss. That's a tough miss for sure.
When did you get out here to start taking in the action today?
Just a little bit ago. I was working at Spinners on the Green earlier, and then got out of the shop to come check out some of the action. Yeah, we were out here. We had the regional for Region 8, the final out at Vista del Camino, the other World Championship course. And that was a little stop in the action.
Yeah, looking for a clarification. There was some official clarification. This is Chris. Then he steps up and very quickly converts on his birdie. I'm not quite sure what was said or what had gone down. This is going to be Joe for par. There's been plenty of birdies, plenty of great golf, and as you said, plenty of great weather out here this weekend. I've got to say I'm going to go back with the official sunburn raccoon eyes, as I always do whenever I leave Arizona. You'd think one of these days I'd learn. We're going to move up to hole 14. We've got just 3 holes to play before someone's driving home with a brand new car.
I'm enjoying it.
Hole number 14 coming in at 375 feet, downhill, but there's gonna be wind. There's OB to the left side. You can't hit that sidewalk or skip past it, otherwise you're taking the penalty stroke. You're playing this one wide to the right, unless you have enough power to go straight up the middle. Wide to the right seems to be the play. Will it skip? Will it stick? Either way, you're playing into a protected green as you're going for the birdie on 14. And playing out with the wide hyzer. We talked about it last round with Dave Fehlberg. Dave joining me now as that's heading down. It needs to sit down, and it's going to find themselves safe and inbounds. We currently have a four-way tie for first place.
You know, when we were designing this, I tried to explain when you have qualifiers across the country, you get the best of the best, and we're seeing this now. Some people thought this would be...
That guy was speeding.
Yeah, some people thought this would be a blowout with 6 rounds, but when you qualify them from all regions, you get the best of the best, and they're showing each region has a great player, and 4-way tie for first. Can you imagine the pressure?
And that was high and coming in with too much angle. It looks like it may have carried toward the OB sidewalk. We didn't get an indicator that I can tell from at least the tee area. Third to tee is Clinton. Clinton with a forehand. He knows that it was a misfire right out of his hands. That's going to be on the right side.
You got this 4-way tie. The first 3, nobody's in the circle. This is Schultz's chance to really break through with 2 holes to play and take command of the tournament. We're going to find out what he's made of right here.
And again, a mid-range. He turns it over. It's carrying wide right. It's not going to come back, leaving the window of opportunity open.
For Rawling to get back in.
And Joe Rawling, who sits 3 strokes back of his other 4 card mates. Let's see if he can put some pressure back on these guys.
You hit the shot. That's the shot.
There it is. That's the shot, as Dave is saying. It's out to the right. That's going to skip just to the pin. Coming in by the trees.
He's
short putt. He's right in it. We're moving down on hole 14.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, he's birdied it like 3 or 4 times this weekend. All right, Chad. All right, trying to get a little confirmation as to who is out, who's going to be throwing first. It looks, in fact, as Chris points off to the right side, he's pointing over here to Silas, who's going to be just basically throwing an approach shot to get it next to the pin. And
That'll play.
Well executed. You don't want to be playing with the trees at all on that right side. being short or left is the place to be to just avoid anything to do with putting in or around or through those trees. Keseloff has a long look at it. He's about 55 feet, but even with the low ceiling, he's got a good chance to still run this, put this in.
Yeah, I think that, you know, this is his moment. He's worked all tournament. This is his first chance to take the true lead out route. And he looks ready. He's very serious.
He's got a very unique step putt from long range. You're going to see it here. Oh, and almost playing it off the branches just a little bit high. He certainly wasn't going to be short. Very aggressive play.
So I think Cole was out of bounds here. This is a big shot. He needs to stay pace. Oh, and the tree. Cole's chances at the car could have much reduced just now. He's going to be 2 strokes off the pace if he does not make this comebacker.
And as we said, very aggressive. He was able to go hard at it. However, it hits the tree and then gets a bad roll away as Clinton puts himself up. Also, same spot as that we find Silas. If Cole wants any chance to remain in the hunt here, he needs to convert.
Oh, he does.
He does. Just ice in his veins, no problem for Ben Cole. What a solid comeback. Great concentration.
So let's see who we got here. We've got them tapping in, but, you know, these are not gimmies at this level with this kind of pressure. Anything can happen. We saw that in the playoff. He's in, and it looks like Rawling will be tapping in for birdie here after Silas and Keseloff get off the green, and he'll be right in the hunt again. I mean, it's a long shot, but he's there.
It is a long shot. He's been battling hard. We've seen him have share of the lead, have the outright lead. He is certainly not going down without a fight, and there's the birdie. We've got a walk up to 17, just 2 to play. Stay tuned right here at the Next Gen Championship weekend.
And Terry, you know, I'm going to have to leave you now. I'll be going to get the car and be driving up to 18 Green. See you guys in 2 holes.
All right, keep it out of the water, Chris Heron. All right, here we go.
Disc Golf Center has moved to beautiful DeBerry, Florida, just down the road from the River City Nature Park Disc Golf Course. If you're in the neighborhood, come by and check out our spacious showroom and storefront. You'll have direct access to our live inventory of over 20,000 discs, so you can get exactly the weight and color you're looking for. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
Hole number 17, 468 feet, par 3, but all downhill. You can certainly reach it. You're going to see a big drive out to the right side. Play that in nicely with a gentle hyzer, and you could be looking at the birdie. There's again a protected green with a few trees down there, but before we move into the final hole, you want a birdie 17. Joe Rawlings hanging his out wide to the right. That's going to get a flare skip, but not enough to carry him all the way to the pin. Looks to be about pin high. Joe's moved himself to 17 under par. And Keseloff relying again on that forehand. He thinks he released a bad shot, but it's going to play out just fine for him. He'll have a putt from there. However, I think that was lower than He says it didn't go where he wanted it to quote him. Clinton Rihn from Wisconsin, third to tee. Clinton also playing the big forced turnover flex shot with the forehand. Looks to have a similar result that we saw from previous thrower Chris Keseloff. We'll see if Schultz can take control here. He could be looking at the outright lead with a birdie. And that seems to be online. We'll see how that finishes. It's going to be left of the pin, looking for it to sit down. And he's going to have a putt from inside the circle. The 14-year-old keeping the pressure on the rest of the card. He's looking to go into the final hole with a lead of 1 if he can convert and keep the others off of the birdie train. And Ben hangs his out to the right after bogeying the previous hole. We have a long walk as we're moving down 17, just 2 left to play. We'll see in a moment from the green on 17.
Has it been the same length at the beginning?
Yeah. And with that, that will be all but ending Ben's chance here at taking home the championship title this weekend. Ben coming up short of the circle. Clinton looks to be about 45, maybe 50 feet. Pin high, Silas inside 15 feet. And he converts. Wow! This is not over. Clinton playing this out. Not going to let Silas walk away with the potential lead outright here on hole 18. What a putt. And the step putt by Chris Keseloff, just a bit wide to the right. Joe Rawling moving down the fairway as well. Joe Rawling finds himself outside the circle. He's looking at approximately 40, maybe 42 feet. And the lunging jump putt by Joe Rawling, which has gotten him to this point here as we're moving in on the finals. However, it looks like Joe's efforts may be coming up short. What a putt. Ben is not going down without a fight. Carding par here on hole 17 after a somewhat botched approach shot. And one of the first to always give out the high fives this weekend has been Silas Schultz, encouraging all of his competitors throughout the entire weekend. Regardless of how his demeanor or his play is going, he's always there first to congratulate others. And Keseloff is in. He will remain at 19 under par. Rihn is in at 20 under with 1 hole to play. And Silas is going to take a share of the lead to move into the 18th and potentially final hole. We need everyone to remain steady for Joe. And Chris was already off and on his way. We're moving over to 18. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment as we wrap up the national championships here in Fountain Hills, Arizona.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Hey, Simon. What? Do you know who's next? Me? No, someone else. Who's next?
And arguably the most important drive of his career, Rihn finds himself safe and inbounds to the right side of the pin. This is the defining moment for Silas Schultz. Silas with a gentle turnover that's got to fight back toward the basket. It's not going to. He's going to be also up and to the right. You'll have a similar look from Clinton. However, I think he will be putting first. Joe's trying to play for the turnover. I'm not sure that's got enough angle on it. It did go over the inbounds area, however, it ultimately finishes OB. He will get a spot from there. Third to tee, Chris Keseloff. And Chris puts out a great looking forehand shot that's going to find himself inbounds, and it checks. It does not skip. He's going to have a putt from there. And last to tee, Benjamin Cole. And Benjamin Cole is going to find the Fountain Hills Pond OB. We're going to move up the fairway here on 18 and watch it all unfold. Joining me again is Colt Breck. And Colt, we've got every bit of drama we could have possibly asked for. We've got a tie for the lead, both with makeable but long putts, and then we see the guy that is just one stroke back, in fact has the closest to the pin. Dare I ask, is this thing over at the end of this hole?
It's appearing that I would say it's not over. I mean, we're looking at 2 pars relatively and a possible birdie putting in a 3-way tie. So I mean, I'm pulling for the 3-way playoff myself.
Says you, who doesn't have to get on a plane in the next 2 or 2.5 hours. But what an exciting day as it's all unfolding. There is no wind. There is a beautiful sunset in the background. We're in Fountain Hills, Arizona, at the Next Gen National Championship. I am so glad you guys could join us. I'd like to thank Latitude 64 and all of the supporting sponsors and partners of the Next Generation Tour. Already looking forward to an exciting 2018. And Ben giving that a run as he's got the uphill backstop. Silas Schultz could give himself an outright lead with this putt. Oh, and just short for Silas. That may or may not be the end of it for him. We have 2 more. Oh, and Clinton is short as well.
having a three-way playoff for the car. Three-way playoff between Silas, Schultz, Clinton, Rihn, and my man Keseloff, the comeback kid. So here's what we're going to do. Aggregate score, 3-hole playoff, minimum 3 holes. 16, 17, 18. It's still tied after that. You'll start on 16 again on sudden death. Go to the 16th tee and wait for Sean Summers to call your name. Good luck. Good luck.
There it is, folks. I don't believe it. I feel like we were just here a few moments ago talking about a playoff, and now we're here for it again. We're going to move over to hole 16. Stay with us. There's a pouch, but just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going.
Joe.
You ready to go? This seems like a discussion.
What's that?
Yeah.
We're ready?
Joe
Yep.
Rawling.
The same announcement stuff again.
Yep.
Ben Cole.
There's no over 10 days, right? No over 10 days. Check the score.
Thank you.
Bring it back now, Johnny.
All right, welcome to our 3-hole playoff. We'd like to congratulate Mr. Joseph Rawling for taking 5th place. And Mr. Benjamin Cole for 4th place. An official tie for 4th, but the placing will be 4th and 5th for the trophy. Okay, now we're in our 3-hole aggregate playoff. We're going to bring the 3 gentlemen up. Step up, gentlemen. You need a disc, Chris?
And Dave Feldberg about to approach our 3 competitors. And he's letting everyone know that there will be a flip, and the odd flip will in fact have the choice of teeing or not.
I'd like to go first.
All right, and with that, Chris has elected to go first. I think everybody gets their disc on the 20-yard line, and then extra points count. I don't know how this works. Just kidding.
3rd for Mr. Schultz.
All right.
The order will be Chris, Clinton, Silas.
Chris, Clinton, Silas. I believe that's also in the order of reverse age.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
It's here, guys! Woo! The biggest prize of disc golf. Are you guys ready? Yeah! Coming up first, from Cerritos, California, our comeback kid, Chris Keseloff.
And Chris Keseloff with the backhand going out and around the mandatory. That hits hard off the berm on the left side. Gets a long skip.
Up next, from Onalaska, Wisconsin, and our Region 5 champion, everyone give it up for Clinton Rihn!
And Clinton also forced with the backhand here, as there are a mandatory that you must move out and around. Puts it right next to the pin.
Everyone welcome, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the young gun, Silas Schultz!
And Silas playing the hyzer out and around. That's got to hope to skip and not, or sit down I should say, and not skip, as we saw. We're moving down on hole 17. We'll be back in a moment.
KJ Naibu, who's the next champion?
Hello everyone, and welcome to the famous Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course. We're here on hole number 1, 390 feet. There's plenty of room out to that right hand. Long run there by Silas. Chris Keseloff has a similar putt. Pin high, left side of the fairway, no wind to worry about. We're going to see his unique lunging step putt. Just a little too much. He goes up and over the basket. He'll be left with approximately 15 feet for the comeback. Chris and Silas will have to concern themselves slightly with as they're facing directly into the sunshine. Great concentration, again, staring right into the sun. That's going to be a par 3 here on hole 16 for Silas. And easy cleanup there for Chris. And Clinton with a head knocker. He's in on 16. He scores the 2. The other 2 with 3s. We're moving on to hole 17 for the aggregate countdown.
Hi, this is Dave Felberg, and you're here at the Next Generation National Championships at Fountain Hills, Arizona. And I want to talk to you a little about one of our new sponsors this year. It's Shady Rays Sunglasses. We brought them into the disc golf community, and we wanted to make them a big partner of our tour. And if you've seen these, then you played in a regional championship and you made the cut. We want to thank Shady Rays for being a part of our tour and show you what they're giving us. So let's get it open. Right here was what I have is what they call the X series. They have many models on their website. Really nice, can see really well. I want to say that these are the type of things that we have to do to promote disc golf. We bring in companies from outside the sport. We want to thank Shady Rays for being a part of disc golf and taking a chance on our sport. Go to shadyrays.com to get your sunglasses. Type in promo code NG Disc Golf and you'll get a discount. Until next time, we'll see.
And Clinton seems to make an adjustment from his previous release here just a few moments ago. However, that is going to be short and right with not nearly enough power. And also making an adjustment, it looks like for the better. We'll see Chris is finished short and right as well. He's not going to have a good angle from that side. You do not want to be right of the pin. Silas would love to duplicate the shot he threw just a few minutes ago. It looks like it's doing just that, tracking back toward the pin. We'll see if it stops, and it does. And he's within inches, I believe, from where he was previously as his dad lets out a beller. We're going to move on to hole 17's green. Probably very easily. Make some good side cash. Oh, and what a run. Clinton is off the top of the basket. Wow. And with almost the exact same line will in fact be Chris Keseloff. Very similar line, about 25 feet closer to the pin than Clinton, and Silas inside 25 feet again, maybe closer to 20. and just hitting off the left side tree. He's going to walk away with a par here. So right now, just to quickly recap the scores, during the opening hole, during the first hole that is, we saw Keseloff with a par. He's looking at a par here on 17 as well. Clinton has gone birdie par. And Schultz is looking to go par birdie. And he thought he was short. It was a little low. However, he is now again tied for the lead. Him and Clinton both sitting one down through the 2 holes. Keseloff is going to remain at par, assuming he can tap this last putt in here on 17. And really, no one works the hat mechanics like Keseloff, using it to his full advantage, as you should be. And Clinton is in. So we've got 2 guys at -1. Keseloff at par. We're moving to 18. We'll see if it's decided here. And with a slight turnover, we see Silas carrying to the right. We're going to find him in a similar position to where he was when he played hole 18 prior. He turns around, he's got a smile on his face. He says, oh my gosh, same spot for the 14-year-old. And Clinton has tossed it into the water. That has a long way to go. Could it dare find itself back in? It almost found itself back in bounds, but it does not come to the land. That is going to result in a rethrow from way back here near the tee for an all but inevitable 4 at best. And also carrying it out over the water's edge the entire way. That's going to skip off the gunite. Is it going to stay in bounds? And it's done just that. We're going to move down hole 8. We're just going to move up a few feet to Clinton's next throw. Clinton will be throwing from back here where he was last in bounds. And a standstill forehand approach. Could he possibly put that in to save the par? And he is up on the right side. A great run, a great effort. We shall see. It looks like that may in fact end the run here by Clinton Rihn of Onalaska, Wisconsin. What an incredible performance out here this weekend. We've seen so many dramatic finishes. I think back to a few years ago, of course, Paul Macbeth and Jeremy Colling exchanging huge putt after huge putt to force the playoff. I also think back to Nico LaCastro acing here on the final hole to force a playoff in an event out here in Arizona. And now here we are on 18 after a 3-hole playoff. If Silas Schultz can convert on this birdie putt, the 14-year-old from Louisiana will go home in a brand new car thanks to the 2017 Next Generation Tour. It is a great gallery out here. We are losing daylight as we've seen, or won't be seeing. He looks to be about circle's edge. This is Silas Schultz for the win. And Silas Schultz has let it slip through his fingers again. And Clinton, with all of the air out of his sail, doesn't really matter. He knows that he's going to be eliminated after the OB release on the 18th green, or the 18th tee just a few moments ago. And Chris Keseloff needs to make this putt to extend into sudden death playoff. And the comeback kid has done it again. Chris Keseloff forces the playoff, and this is not done. Don't throw it in there. Wow, okay. Silas, simmer down. We've got more golf to play. It's sudden death. Hole number 16, we're going back. Unbelievable. Who wants this car? We'll see you in a moment on hole 16. By the time, you know, if you do it.
Between Chris Keseloff and Silas Schultz. Everybody, do your best to be quiet. There's a lot of pressure. Focus. Gentlemen, Chris has the
Chris opts to hang it out wide to the right this time. He's trying to play that skip that he got last time, and it looks like he's made up for it. First, to congratulate him again, Silas Schultz. So much the sportsman out here all weekend long. That is low by Silas. It's going to get over the OB, or correction, the mandatory push left. He's got a long putt and a longer walk to get there. Yeah, I mean, that tends to happen. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we risk, I think, whenever we're running full auto. Yeah. And a loud yell coming from the gallery. Silas thinks that may in fact be the end of it. Chris Keseloff, he's now gone deep. This is not a gimme. He looked closer when we were back at the tee. Chris looks to be just inside the 10-meter circle, or right at its edge. We feel a little bit of a wind pickup. It is pushing from his left, over his left shoulder to the right. Chris Keseloff, for the first time today, can sink this putt and walk away with the car and the Next Gen Championship title. Keseloff comes up short. This playoff will continue. Both players with less than 5 feet. There is life that has been breathed again into this young 14-year-old. He's going to have a 3-foot tap in. Keseloff with a 5-foot tap in. And we are moving to hole 17. Unbelievable. We're going to stand down for just a moment. Keseloff taps in. We'll see you from hole 17 at Fountain Hills. It's killing me! Keseloff's forehand hits the tree short, and I did not see it come down. It's a dark disc. It finally then does come down. He is not going to be getting a 2 from there, short of a miraculous throw-in. And Schultz, who has parked this twice in a row, throwing a pink disc, steps up with a yellow disc. It looks like it's going to have a similar result, but be short. And we'll see if he's going to be in range for the birdie. We got a long walk. We'll see you on the green of 17.
Disc Golf Center is your #1 choice for discs, accessories, and low prices. With free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12, discounts from our customer rewards program, and the ability to pick out the exact weight and color disc you want from our live inventory of over 20,000 options. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
And there is no 2-meter rule here, which was clarified earlier in the weekend, and that did not, in fact, come down. So I wasn't necessarily losing my mind in the dizziness of this playoff. Keseloff's disc stayed up in the tree. Keseloff is going to assess. He's going to see if he can find where Silas Schultz is placed at the moment. I can officially make the announcement that I've more than doubled my necessary steps on the day. So if you guys wanted to wrap this up, I'd be okay with that. And a great approach shot there by Chris Keseloff. I'm going to see if he can get his disc out of the tree. And Silas is considerably short. We could not tell from the tee just how short he was. He's really got to make sure that he just puts this up next to the basket, make Chris make his 10 or 12, maybe 15 footer, and then at worst move on to a playoff on hole 18 where sudden death continues. You just don't want to let anything get by or have something crazy happen. And as I'm saying that, it hits the tree, which was way too high of a release, comes down, hits the basket, and then falls to the ground. He has a tap in, and Keseloff, albeit an incredibly solid putter, still has at least a 12, maybe 15-foot knee knocker coming back. This was, in fact, longer than the putt that spit out on him on hole number 1 as we started the finals. This is not a gimme. It should be with his skill sets. There's still a little bit left on this. As expected, right into the center, and Silas couldn't miss that if he tried, as he's got just 2 feet left. There's a tap in, there's a tie, and more sudden death. We're moving to 18. We'll see you there in a moment. And Keseloff does not carry over the water as much as we've seen in the previous attempts. And in fact, he's finding himself very close to the position we just saw Silas on the last two attempts here on 18. Silas has the exact same disc. The wind is picking up and the fountain is going off directly behind us. In fact, you can feel some of the light mist coming from the fountain. This is Silas Schultz. And Silas Schultz may end it right here. In fact, that is carrying deep. He's got to have that sit. And it's on the gunite, and it slips in. And that may, in fact, be the end of the run by Silas Schultz. What a battle. We're going to follow this in. We're going to move all the way up. Unbelievable, as Silas Schultz throws the same driver we've seen the previous two times here on 18, makes an adjustment, and this time, instead of carrying it right, turning it over, he does not turn it over enough. Carries past the basket, and then just barely slips into the water at the last possible moment. Silas will have to at least make this in order to have any chance at continuing the sudden death playoff. If Silas does not convert this putt, that would give Chris Keseloff the opportunity to simply lay it under the basket and drop in for the three and finish one of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen in amateur or even professional disc golf, as he started out the tournament missing the first three holes, starting 12 over par. I can't even remember how many playoff holes we've had. I think we're on our 6th playoff hole. Unbelievable. If Silas Schultz, the 14-year-old, wants any shot at taking home this Kia Soul and the Next Gen Championship title, he needs to put this in. He's at least 60, maybe 70 feet from the pin. We see his brother hustling after it. Make sure he has what he needs. Silas will have an uphill putt. This is for everything in sudden death. He needs to be aggressive. The only mistake he can make here is to come up short. He needs to give this a run and put this in. And Silas gives it the run I spoke of. He's going to try and retrieve his disc and collect his thoughts. The run by the young 14-year-old is coming to an end. Chris Keseloff just simply needs to lay this under the basket. Anything other than that would be crazy. Chris, this needs to be a layup. He is lining things up. He is setting up as if it's a jump putt, and if he runs this, I may smack him. What in the world was he thinking? He is your champion, congratulations, but what in the world was he thinking? He simply needed to put that under the basket. He is so fortunate that did not get up, that did not roll into the water. I am beyond myself. We're going to move in. Silas, congratulations on your 2nd place. We're going to move in. And he taps in as your champion. Chris Keseloff, your champion. He's going to get the congratulations. And coming up here, driving onto the green, it's taken so many extra holes, so much extra time, and your champion, Chris Keseloff. We're going to have to get out some additional flash lighting for all of the photography. Unbelievable what we are seeing here. And with a bout of frustration on his head, I see Silas Schultz trying to force out the smile. What a battle. one of the greatest battles I've ever seen here in disc golf. This is incredible.
You are looking at the top 16 amateurs in the world. Let's give them a round of applause. Finishing in 5th place with a great battle all weekend. Let's congratulate Joseph Rawling.
Joe Rawling, your 5th place finisher. Joe, unfortunately, not standing up here at the moment. Maybe he was trying to catch the same plane I was back to Wisconsin tonight. But here comes Joe.
Trophies are handmade by Cynthia Whitaker. In 4th place, Mr. Benjamin Cole.
Dave Feldberg announcing Benjamin Cole, your 4th place finisher here.
In 3rd place, entertaining you in the playoff, Mr. Clinton Rihn.
Clinton Rihn on Alaska, Wisconsin.
And we saw one of the most epic battles in disc golf history for the biggest prize ever played for. So let's give a round of applause because we really had 2 winners, but we can only award 1. In 2nd place from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, let's welcome Silas Schultz.
And the crowd erupts for the 14-year-old Silas Schultz. What a performance and what a battle.
4,000 competitors, 151 events. To this moment, 6-hole playoff. We now have our first national champion winning the largest prize in disc golf history. Let's bring it up. I want the loudest I've ever heard. He was late to the ground first round. He took 12 penalty strokes. 12! And he is now the owner of a brand new 2017 Kia Soul Plus. Let's bring it up, Mr. Chris Keseloff.
And a very, very emotional Chris Keseloff awarded his trophy. He's going to lift it up, let everyone see. All right, he's managed to keep all his other drives out of the lake. Let's hope this one is the same. Chris Keseloff awarded the keys. At the rate of that playoff, I would say at the rate of that playoff, I was worried that Silas Schultz may be of age. Everybody getting in the car. I hope somebody set the clock in the car so that he knows when to show up for the next event. And riding off is your champion, Chris Keseloff. Keep. Oh, now he's bringing it back for us. Chris Keseloff, your champion. All right, we're going to move over. We're going to interview real quick. This is my first in-car interview. I think it's my first ever in-car. Man, I met you at the Amateur World Championships, the Final 9. You put on quite a show there. And then here, you gave everyone a little bit of leeway. You gave them 12 strokes. Did we set is the clock set right in here now?
Yes.
It's right. Okay. So congratulations. How does it feel?
I'm just speechless right now. I had so many people that was counting on me, and my family and my mom. She did so much, and she does so much for me, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Well, you've battled hard. Talk about some of your competitors. You've got the top 5 in here. All season long, it took you guys to get to where you are, and then you guys put on one of the most epic playoff battles we've ever seen in disc golf in Fountain Hills. Talk about some of your competitors.
Oh, today they're all heavy hitters. I mean, this guy, he battled all the way to the very end. I saw you trying to read the wind, you know. I wanted you to get a flex, but it just didn't get there. Good, you know, the second best sidearm player that I know in this tournament. Woohoo! You crushed it, man. You like really came back, especially on your comeback putts. Like, you had no remorse. They were dead center. Like, no, I mean, and you battled all the way there. You know, I mean, there's a lot of great people, a lot of great vibes. I was just in my zone. I just wanted to make up my strokes, and I just secluded as many people as I can. That was distracting me, and I just wanted to go for top 5, and I didn't expect to win this. But this is, I don't know, everybody here was just awesome. Had a great tournament. Everybody was professional, and it was just good vibes the whole way through.
Well, it was a heck of a story. Again, giving that cushion, coming back, you battled every single round. You found yourself today pushing, making that final push, getting into the card, forcing the playoff. And I want to congratulate everyone else in here, all of our top competitors. We see Silas Schultz. We also see Joe Rawling, Benjamin Cole, and Clinton Rihn. Amazing performance by these guys. I couldn't be more proud of everyone. I want to thank Dave, Latitude 64, and finally we're going to close it out. Great battle. Congrats to all of you guys. Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you. So there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys in the background as I close out. It's been one heck of a weekend. I've got to thank Johnny V back at home for doing everything on the Smashbox side. Of course, we got to thank Jimmy along with Chad on the cameras throughout the weekend, Pat and Dave and Cynthia and every single member of the Latitude 64 crew along with the Next Generation crew, Fountain Hills, Arizona, along with the entire state of Arizona that's so welcoming and warm to disc golf. It's been a great battle. It's been a great tour, a great season. We're looking forward to seeing you guys more. We'll check in maybe with our champion on Tuesday night on SmashBoxxTV's podcast. For Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, Johnny V, and everyone else, we'll see you next time when you step inside the Smashbox.